welcome to the new vlog. Little jump in time from the last video since that one was in June, and we are now in the end of August. So yeah, if you saw a few videos ago, you know that July was absolutely brutal. Thankfully, this month has been a lot better. Just not many losing sessions. That definitely feels good after having mostly losing sessions in July. And yeah, a lot of sessions just up a little bit. Had a few big scores, but up a little bit's fine when you don't lose. And it's really nice. It feels good. And sometimes just having to chill. Opening the 2-5. So that's our call. We're gonna head in there. We've been playing 1-3 and it's been pretty good so far. But yeah, let's just focus and try to end the month strong with some 2-5 action. Let's do it.
2-5 table opens, and as usual, we're buying for 1,000. That is the max. Today, actually, I've already been playing for about an hour and a half, 2-5, and things have been going really good. I'm up over $600. A big part from bomb pots that went my way. And if you're wondering why I'm not starting to film when I started the session, I had some work to do. I had some editing I had to catch up on before being able to film. And as well, I'm mostly sticking to sessions of 5 hours or even less when I'm vlogging, just because that's plenty of content. When I go over that 6-7, it's gonna be so long and a shit ton of work. So I try to stick to 5 hours. That's what this session is going to be. We now have a bomb pot with a very pretty hand, ace, king, 7, queen. But when we just flop top pair and someone pots it, that's not good enough. We let it go. We're going to play the next one though. Ace, jack off, none other than 1. And I get $15. Hijack, button, call. Flop. Deuce, deuce, 10. And yeah, out of position, I check. Checks around. Turn is a king. So we got a gut shot now. It says that a hijack who bets $10. Button calls. Interesting spot. Doesn't look very strong, but mostly just looks like a king, since I think for the most part they're going to bet a 10 on the flop. So I do call with plenty of outs for that price. I'm just getting priced in to hit my gut shot, and very likely if I hit ace, it's good too. River though is at 8. Says that a hijack who bets $10 again. Now the button raises to 20. So yeah, when a button raises, I'm not sure about bluffing here, so I do let it go. And really weird spot, because a hijack called and a button raised with ace queen. So she had ace high and a hijack at ace 10. So yeah, neither of them had what I was expecting. Let's move on. Jack 4 off. And now let's get a big blind special. I got ace 3 off and a big blind under the gun, cut off limp. And let's see a free flop. I check. Flop is very nice. Ace 5 deuce. So I got a gut shot and top pair. When it checks to the cutoff, she bets $15. And I don't think my ace is good here for the most part, because players love to play with aces. And if she bets here 3 ways, most likely it's that. And my kicker is one of the worst possible. But I've got outs to a straight and 2 pair. So I put in the call. Turn is beautiful. It's a 4. Does bring in the flush, but now we have a straight, and I think it's good, especially when I check and he checks back. River is a jack, and let's go for value from what I think is most likely a ace. That is paw controlling when the flush comes in and there's a one-liner. I'm gonna get $40. She does call. I show. She shows an ace and mucks. Let's keep it going. Pocket 7s in a small blind under on 1 limp. So I'm going to get $25, and he calls. Ends up checking now when the flop comes jack, 10, deuce, turns a queen, river's a 6, and we are no good against pocket 9s. Let's get a little loose in this one. 8-5 suited in the cutoff under the limp. So I'm going to get $20, and only the big blind calls. Flop. 7, queen, 5. So bottom pair, back doors. Not the worst. So when he leads for $20... This is a very interesting spot, always when they donk. And yeah, for the most part, I think this looks like a top pair, but nothing too strong. And I don't think my bottom pair is good here. But bottom pairs are good candidates to turn into bluffs. And we actually have outs with 2 pairs and trips to improve. So I'm not going anywhere yet. I call. Turn is ace 4. And now when he checks, I got a gut shot to go with my 2 pair and trip outs, and I think just most likely this is a not very strong of a queen. So let's try to get that to fold. I make it $65, and it's not working yet since he does call. River is a 9. So we did not improve, but this is definitely a pretty scary run out. Backdoor flush comes in, and there is a few straights mixed in there. So when he checks, I think I could get the queen to fold that donk the flop. Let's go for it. I make it $190. He goes into the tank. He's thinking and thinking and thinking. And finally, he does fold. Let's go. First bluff of the session gets through and feels good since I'm trying to improve and be more aggressive in spots like these. So happy that it works out. And this pot is coming away, getting us over $700. Very next time, we're going to keep it going. Pocket fives and the cutoff. Hijack makes it $20. I call. But when set minus does not work out and he bets, I just let it go. 3-4 off, king 3 suited, 9-5 off, jack 7 off, ace 6 off. Now we're in a button with ace 3 suited. Low jack, hijack, limp. So I make it $25 and the big blind and limpers call. Flop. 5 king 9. So yeah, so multi-way, nothing going on. I check, turns a 7, low jack bets $20 and I fold. 9 deuce off, 6-3 off, king deuce off, another bomb pot, but 5 king 4-4 will not hit the board. So when someone bets, I fold. Now we got a premium ace king suited under in 2. And make it $15. You get a low jack, small blind, and big blind to call. So pretty multi-way to a jack, ace, 4 board. Checks to me and monotone board. Super multi with top pair, top kicker. Let's put out a small C bet. I make it $20 and everybody folds. Ace 7 off, 6-3 off, 9-4 off. Now in small blind with ace queen off. Hijack makes it $15. I 3-bet to 60 and he folds. While we get through a little more of garbage, if you are not yet part of it, I got a pretty cool Discord going on where we just talk about poker, content, lifestyle, and there is some pretty good players there, other content creators, and just some pretty good grinders in this area that will reply if you want to share hands and help out. So if you want to improve, you want to hang out and talk about poker, I will leave the link of the Discord in the description of this video. And now we got another bomb pot. Hand is pretty, king, queen, 3-10, but once we miss, so we let it go. King 7 off, ace 10 off, not a big blind pocket, 10s. Cutoff makes it $10, that's definitely small, but in calls, let's 3-bet, I make it 55 and they fold. 10-7 off. Now, this is an interesting situation because our friend to our left that we play often against puts our button straddle going on. And there's some backstory to this. A little while ago, he bought someone into a bomb pot and they lost their whole stack. So since then, it's kind of a joke going around that when he ever puts money in for someone, it's unlucky. But yeah, let's play. We don't believe in bad luck, right? All right, let's play. So we are the button straddle in this one. We look down at 7-6 suited. There's 2 limpers. Cutoff makes it $50 and being in position, I think it's good enough to call. I do that, and so does a low jack. So 3 ways to a 9 deuce 8 flop. So open in this straight draw. Checks to the cutoff, who bets $50, and for that price, definitely not going anywhere. I call, and so does a low jack. Turn is pretty nice. It's a 10, so we hit our straight. Not the nut, since of course there's queen jack and jack 7, but I don't know if jack 7 is going to be playing here that often. It was a straddle pot. I think people tighten up a decent amount, so I'm pretty happy with my hand. So maybe his chips are actually good luck chips. Now things get interesting though, since the low jack leads all in for $220. Could have folds it onto me, and yeah, I don't think he's bluffing. But I think he could definitely be doing this for value with worse. With 2 pair, maybe turn to 10 with jack 10 and thinks it's good. And he just has left in pots. So he just is going to go for it. So, of course, not going anywhere. I flick in a call. There is a 3. And we are no good against queen jack off. So, yeah. Seems like the legend of our friend putting in money for people is bad luck keeps it going because we get stacked. And that's the second time in a row I see him put money for someone and them getting stacked. What a spot. And who knows what would have happened if you wouldn't have done that, because on a non-straddle pot, I'll be 3-betting sometime with 7-6 suited. And if I 3-bet, I don't think the player that won with the queen jack would have stayed involved. But anyways, it is what it is. This happens in this moment and we get stacked. And that does definitely take a chunk of our profit. But it is what it is. Let's just focus and keep it going with jack 6 off. Now we're in a hijack with queen 8 suited. 3 limpers. And yeah, with a good amount of limpers, I'll tighten up. But we're trying to be more aggressive, play more hands. Let's do it. I make it $30. And only the big blind calls. Flop is decent. Queen 10 deuce. So with top pair, I'm going to bet. I make it $30 and he folds. Next hand, I'm going to play as well. Ace 4 suited. I make it $15 and everybody folds. King deuce off, 10-6 off, 9 deuce off, 3 deuce off. Now in the small one with a pretty one. King queen suited. Hijack limp, so I make it $25 and he calls. Flop 5-8 deuce. And yeah, not the best board for my range. Definitely a little better for the limpers. And he's out of position. I have a checking range. That's what I do. He checks back. Turn is promising. It's a 6. So now we have a flush draw. And once he checks in position, I don't think he has nothing too strong. Not even like top pair. I think is mostly betting. So let's try to get plenty of hands to fold with a good amount of good rivers. I make it $35, but he's not going anywhere since he calls. We're going to need some help on the river. That definitely does not come. It is a 5. So yeah. One of the worst candidates to be bluffing on is on paired boards, and especially on this board that there is plenty of missed flush draws. There's a front door flush, the back door flush, and there's missed straight draws. And one hand I think maybe could be playing this way is for sure if you flop middle pair. That is now trips. So yeah, not my favorite spot to be bluffing. So I do give up on check. He bets $110. And when he does that, I feel a little better about not trying to bluff. So yeah, I just let my king high go. 8 deuce suited. Now we are going to cut off with that premium once again. Ace king suited. Hijack makes it $15. I 3-bet to 50, but sadly no action since he lets it go. 9 for suited. Now time for a bomb pot. But once again, not much going on for us since we got 8, 6, queen, 9. We do not hit, so when someone bets, we let it go. Ace 6 off, 9 deuce off, queen 6 suited, ace 5 off, 7 4 off. Now on a button with jack 4 suited. Folds to us, and when the button, it's suited. Good enough. I'm going to get $15, but the blinds is fold, and I'll take it with his hand. Next one, we're going to play it. Queen 10 suited in the cutoff. Button strategy is going on, so I'm going to get $30, and only the small blind calls. Flop, 9 deuce 4. So we completely miss. But I have a strategy. I just c-betting the flop. And the small blind, he is a pretty tight regular, so I definitely think I could get him to fold a lot of hands. So I'm going to get $30. He says, let me check his cards. Check some and flicks in the call. Turn is a 9. And this was definitely an interesting spot. I think he's being genuine. I really think he was checking if he had a heart himself. But maybe he could have had some hand with a 9 as well. I think less likely because if he has a 9 in this spot when I make it 30, it's most likely suited. And a straddle pot out of position, I do think it's a bit tighter. But I decided to check here to get some information on the river, and I could bluff from there because if he has a 9, I think he's betting, and I don't think he's going to try to bluff himself. So that is what I do. I check. River is a 6 now when he checks. Now let's try to bluff. I think what most likely he has is just a hand that very likely is beating us since any ace, king high is winning with a heart. And I definitely think I could get those to fold. So I make it $100 and 2 for 2 with bluff since he does let it go. And he said he had ace king with the king of hearts. So as I mentioned, he is pretty tight. He doesn't 3-bet that often. He will sometimes with ace king. I just think because it was a straddle pot, he decided not to. As I mentioned, people do become a little tighter in straddle pots. It's because a lot of players, I just don't think they feel comfortable piling it a lot of money pre-flop. They just prefer to try to keep it smaller and just hit the flop and go from there. That I don't recommend, of course. Even though I gotta admit I've done that before, but I try my best not to and just focus on try to do what I think is the most profitable move in every spot. And anyways, let's move on to 7 deuce suited. And now we got a very pretty one. Once again, pocket kings in the low jack, 1 limper. Under than 2 makes it $20 and let's 3-bet. I make it 65. But once again, no action with our 3-bet since he just lets it go. Jack 9 off, 10-7 off, 5-3 off, 5-4 off, and 5-7 off.
All right, little break. Just got back from the buffet, and yeah, altogether doing pretty good. Apart from that crazy spot when he put the straddle for me, and we got straight over straight. But I can't complain. I've been running pretty well lately. You know, I haven't had many bad beats this month at all. So at least you're short stacked. And yeah, not much more to say. I'm really happy with how I'm playing. I'm finding spots and finding bluffs, and yeah, it just feels good. You know, it always feels nice when you're happy with how you're playing. And it was a little while that I wasn't that happy, and I do think the bad one was affecting my game. So I'm happy I got my mind back on track, and I'm just pushing myself, trying to play as aggressive as possible, finding spots. And yeah, we got A couple more hours to go. I think I'll play till 11. So let's head back in there and get back to the grind.
When we get back, we buy in the cutoff, and we see a decent one, 10-7 suited. Under than 2 limps, so I make it $20, and he folds. King deuce off. Now we got king jack off in the low jack. I make it $15. You get a cutoff, small blind, and big blind, and call. Flop, ace, 5, 8. Yeah, when big blind leads for $30, so multi-way with not much going on, just backdoors, I let it go. And this was a super action flop because the big blind had ace 5 and the cutoff had pocket 8. So as you can imagine, big blind lost a lot of money. Happy I did not connect on that board. Move on to jack 3 suited, 9-6 off, another bomb pot, but 5-5 deuce king does not connect, so I just let it go. 8-5 suited, now we got an okay one. Ace 5 suited in the big blind. Straddle is going on under the 2 limps. I make it $50 and everybody folds. While we get through some garbage, I want to mention that every Tuesday I have a meetup game on Clubs Poker at 5 p.m. I play for a little while, have some fun, just low stakes, 25 no limit. So if you want to play there, I have the link in the description. And now we got another bomb pop once again, 10-3-3-4 does not connect. So when someone bets, I let it go. 7-3 off, king 8 off, jack 9 off. Now I got a pretty one, pocket 10s and under the gun. I make it $15. You get under the gun 2, cutoff and button to call. So pretty multi-way to a jack 5 king flop. So at least we have the 10 of diamonds and yeah, out of position. So multi-way I check. It checks to the button. Who bets $15? So yeah, I think I'm probably not good, but I'm not going anywhere since my 10 of diamonds may be good if I hit. So I do call, and so does under the gun 2. Turn is at 8. That does not help. Oh, now it checks to the button. He bets $40. Yeah, not loving it, so I do just let it go. If you were curious, yeah, under the 2 calls. River was a queen of diamonds. He goes check, check, and the button had pocket 8s. He turned the set with the 8 of diamonds. Under the 2 had king jack. So, yeah, we were definitely behind on the turn, but we would have got there on the river. But anyways, let's just move on since we folded. We got king, queen off in the big blind. Straddle is going on, definitely good enough to defend, but the button makes it $80. And yeah, this is one of the spots this player just has size tells, and $80 looks super damn strong. So against a range that my hand's not doing great against, I'm just gonna let him have my $5. I let it go. 4 deuce off, now on a button with 10-9 suited. 2 limpers, cut up makes it $20, and let's 3-bet him. I make it $65, and he shows pocket 4s and folds. 8-7 off, 10-6 off, king 5 off. Now I got a better one. Pocket jacks under than 1. I make it $15. You get a cutoff and small blind call. Flop, deuce, 5, 4. Checks to me, and yeah, these are one of those spots that I do have a strategy of checking out of position, but the cutoff, I think he is going to be checking back a lot, and this is a spot that they could have a lot of overpairs, a lot of 5s, and just overcards, and I don't want to go check around and just bad turn cards showing up, so let's just bet ourselves. I'm going to get $25, and they both call. Turn is very nice, a deuce. So definitely one of the best possible hands, since less likely they have a set of deuces, and now we're beating 5-4. So when it checks to me, let's keep on going for value. I make it 80, but no more to get since now they both just let it go. King deuce off, queen 3 suited, king 9 off, jack 6 off. Now I got queen 9 suited in the cutoff. I make it $15. Now the button 3 bets to 65. Folds to me, and we are late against late, but he made it a pretty big size, 65. That's over 4x. And he doesn't 3-bet that often. I do think he calls good amount of buttons, so maybe if he made it 45, I'd definitely call. But for the bigger size and he doesn't 3-bet often, I do just let it go. And we're in great shape since he had ace-queen suited. 6-9 off, 4-3 off, another bomb pot, jack 8-8-8. So, yeah. Really bad hand, having 3 of the same cards in our hand, and we miss, as you probably expect. So we just fold to a bet, 10-5 off, king 8 off in the big blind, free flop, miss, and fold. Queen 9 off, 6 deuce off, 8-4 off. Now we got king jack off in the hijack under the limps. I make it $20 and he calls. Flop, 9-4 deuce. So second nut flush shot and 2 overcards, not the worst. When he checks, I bet $20 and he seems like he wasn't sure about it and does end up calling. So live tell in this spot, it seemed like he was pretty weak. So when the turn is a 6, let's keep on going for it. I almost basically potted $80. This time it does get through since he lets it go. So it feels nice when the bluffs are getting through in his session. 9-7 suited in the low jack. I make it $15. Hijack button, big blind call. Go to our flop of 4-5-3. So we have a gut shot, 2 overcards, and this multi-way on this board. yeah, I'm just checks around. Turn is an 8. That is pretty nice. Now, if a 6 comes on the river and someone has a 7, we could definitely get a lot of money. But again, on this board, with just a gut shot, I checks around. River, though, is an 8. So, could have been a promising spot, but nothing came out. So, the hijack bet's $20, and I fold. Next hand is our favorite number. Pocket 3s under than 2. Make it $15. Get a hijack and big blind a call. Flop. 8, ace, ace. And yeah, I mean, probably not the most amazing play in the world. This table is just pretty passive, and I thought people seem to be playing pretty loose today, so I think you could have wide ranges, and I could give them some protection to my pocket 3s by betting small here. So that is what I do in a moment. I make it $15, and they all fold, so I'll definitely take that. While we get through some hands, I'd definitely appreciate it if you show some love and leave a comment in this video. Always happy to talk about hands, like the video, because, of course, as you probably know, making videos on YouTube, I'm trying to make a profit out of it, trying to make a living, and directly from YouTube, it's not even close to being worth it. Thankfully, here and there, I do get people to sponsor me, but I would love that I could actually make a profit directly from YouTube, something a little more consistent. So with your likes, your comments, your subscribing to my account, if you haven't do that, it definitely helps out a lot. So if you could do that, I highly appreciate it. And now we're in a button with 3-4 suited. There's 3 limpers, and usually I don't limp apart from maybe pocket pairs, but in the button with so many limpers, let's see a cheap flop. I limp and the blinds call, but we just missed the flops when someone bets. I just let it go. Next hand, ace 4 suited. Definitely not limping this one. Low jack limps. I make $20, and he folds. 10-9 off, king 10 off, jack 8 off, 6-3 off, king 9 off, ace 8 off. Now a small one with pocket 5s. Low jack cut off limps, and once again, let's just see a free flop. Set mining, high call. Big blind checks, what? Once again, we miss. So when someone bets, we just let it go. Jack 5 off. Now it's time for a bomb pot, and this one, we're going to play it since we have 10-4 king jack. First board, we got nothing. Well, we got something. 6, 8, 7. I have a gut shot, but yeah, there's a flush on that board. But the other one is jack 4 jack. We flopped the nuts on that board. Definitely not the best one because we could be chopping with other jack 4s, but definitely really nice. Now we're playing 6-handed, so the pot is $90, and under the gun bet 65. And yeah, with nothing on the other board, and I don't want to be raising here. Usually if you want to raise, at least have something on both boards. So I just call. Turn is a king and a beautiful 3. That's definitely nice. That's below the 4, so we still have the nuts. He didn't slow down. I pots it, $225. And yeah, most likely we're just chopping here that he has a flush on another board. But maybe this player, I definitely think he could just be going crazy with a jack. And if he has that, that isn't a full house, we definitely can be scooping since now we have top pair and the other one. So hopefully that is the case. I do call. River is a queen and a 9. I'll just hope he doesn't have jack 9, and he bets again $250. And yep, just flick in the call. No purpose in raising, definitely not folding. And as expected, we will be chopping up against ace, 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 queen with 2 clubs. So indeed, he had the nut flush draw and pocket aces. So he did have 2 outs on our board to ace. Thankfully, it did not come out. And we will chop that up. 10-8 off, 3 deuce off, 10-7 off, 10-8 off, 9-7 suited in the big blind, but the shot was going on and someone raised big, so I just let it go. 8-4 off, queen 8 off. Now we do a last bomb pot since we are heading out. We got 10-4, 7-6, but that will not be good enough since we miss and someone bets and we let it go. And that is it. So definitely a pretty nice session. I'm really happy with how I played. I think I tried to be more aggressive, find spots, and altogether it worked out pretty well. Definitely nice when you feel like you played good and you run good, apart from that spot that we had straight over straight. But I learned I will not accept any straddles from that player anymore. Just joking. I mean, I don't believe in bad luck, but yeah, maybe I do a little bit because I won't take his straddles anymore. And anyways, let's just rack up, cash out, and talk about the session.
All right, let's go. Another decent profit, even though we had a decent bad beat with the straight over straight. That weird spot when he straddle for us. And you never know what would have happened if it not, because maybe I 3-bet there sometimes. This with the straddle, we're not that deep, and if I have to 3-bet, I don't know. We'll never know anyways, but in this time it was a bad beat, but altogether great session, and I can't complain. I've been running really well. This is like this month, just had a good amount of sessions like this, up 400, 500, 600, and not really losing, so it's just been adding up. And yeah, definitely needed after July, and very happy with how I'm playing. Happy with how I played today. I think I found a good amount of spots, and I'm really happy too, because after July, I do think it kind of got to me, and my mindset wasn't good. It was just, I would come here and just thinking like, okay, let's try not to lose, you know, let's try to do okay and get into profit. And that was just making me not play well, just very passive. I just kind of, you know, scared. So I think I caught myself one day that I was thinking that way. It's like, fuck it, no, let's just go push ourselves and try to make as much money as possible, you know. I know I'm a winning player here, and I have so many hours with everybody. Like, I could definitely exploit a decent amount of the players here, that I could find a lot of spots. I could get them to fold like I did today in a few spots. And I just wasn't doing that. I'm definitely, when I don't do that, I'm leaving a lot of money on the table. So yeah, sure, I could still be winning, but I could be winning a good amount more if I really push myself and put effort into really thinking spots through and just making as much money as I can. So yeah, like today, just really happy. I mean, a decent chunk of the profit. I mean, I do think a decent amount was some bluffs here and there that just luckily all of them got through today. And yeah, hope you all enjoyed it. I do think it's more entertaining as well for the content when I'm more aggressive and now don't take the passive routes. And yeah, that is it. I'm gonna go to sleep, and hopefully I'll see you next week. I don't know how I am with the content. I know for this one, I'm super last moment, because it is Wednesday and I should have a video for Sunday, and I'm filming it right now. So as you may expect, I'm behind. So I'm gonna try to have this for Sunday, but that is literally Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's 3 days. I've never done a whole vlog from scratch in 3 days. So that's very optimistic. Most likely it'll be the next week. And yeah, hopefully just get back on track to make a vlog a week. And again, that's not rant. Thank you all for watching. As usual, if you could like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you all next week.